Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and I sound like a pilot then. Hello there, and welcome to this video on my Budapest theme part 2 tutorial. Do have a look at the description box below for some further information. Dive straight in. This piece begins in the key of F and has a very steady flow to it. By all means, go and listen to it first and come back and have a look. So it's in the key of F, so I'll just show you what the left hand is doing. You may notice the camera, or may not, that the camera is a little bit more to the left than usual because a lot of the chords take place here, whereas normally my camera is just a tiny bit higher. I normally put the camera around here where it ends, so I've lowered it a few notes for your benefit. So the chord style that I'm playing all the chords is a kind of octave. I'll just play it, let's see. So I'm playing an octave for the bass note most of the time. Of course I play it differently every time I play it, but in general I'm playing like that. I'm kind of opening the chord, or if I'm playing it with one note in the bass, I'll play a note and then I'll come up and play, in fact, like in part 1 where I was demonstrating the C minor 6 chord, I was playing a lot of the chords, but I was playing a C and then the C again, and then the chord, and then the note, and then the bass again. So it's a kind of bass, root of the chord, root of the chord, bass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing. So this is going. This is the style of the piece in general. It's got this running, this kind of gentle but forceful kind of flowing because it represents the river. And this is of course part 2. So I also wrote this during my adventures aside the Duna. So the melody is very, very simple. I'll just show you the melody first on this particular piece, and then I'll give you the left hand. So the melody, very simply, is just playing an F to a C. That's just on the camera, yes. So it's an F to a C in the octave above middle C. Middle C is here. So up here. And then the same thing again with an E to a C, rather, and then D to an A, and then a B to an E. So that's the first part. So F C, E C, D A, B E, and you can play around with that how you want. You can do some sort of that kind of like really, mix it around a bit. I sometimes do that when I play it myself. I'll just enhance the melody a tiny bit. So the chords are 1 bar each. First chord is simply F, not a major 7, not anything, just F. So it's going to go like this. So it's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to the E and the C, but the chord is still an F, but I play an A flat, which is the minor, because the chord becomes F minor, but the melody note is a major 7, so technically the chord is an F minor major 7. But the melody, excuse me, too much T, but the melody is playing the major 7, not necessarily the left hand chord, because I like to keep the F sound coming through. So from the beginning, notice how I also play that note. There's a lot of pedal in this because it has to maintain that continuity, that flowing. I don't normally use the pedal when I play, but in these, in part 1 and 2 at least, there's a lot of pedal just because of the effect of the river and the way I'm playing the chords. So I begin the note before beat 1, so you can literally hold that down for as long as you want, and then it starts like that. And then the same thing with the chord, which is going to be D, which is D to A, and then the B to the E is on A minor. Now on that chord here, I mean I have a camera cable unfortunately, but I think what I would normally do without knocking the camera off, yeah, I naturally would play this inversion, which is the second inversion of A minor 7. So inversion very quickly. Simply means you play the same notes of whatever the chord is, but each time you make a new inversion, you are calling it first inversion, second inversion, and what you're doing is moving whatever the bottom note is up to the top, an octave above. So A, C, E and G is A minor 7, root position. If I take off the A and put it on top, this is A minor 7 second inversion. It may look like a C6, but the key of the piece dictates the value of the notes. Very important saying I've just invented. And then you can put the C on top again. Well, put the C on top as the second inversion, and that's the one I'm playing. So I'm playing the fifth, the dominant 7, the root, and the minor. So this time I'm actually bouncing off the E rather than the A. I'm not going all the way up here like this. I'm playing, which is a bit of a smaller space, interval space. Terrible word for a pianist to say. Interval. So from the beginning. You notice how I'm enhancing the melody a little bit. And now just before it goes into the next block of chords, it's going to go on the C just at the end of that bar, so that kind of is a transition note, and you can of course run up to it. So you could do this from the final A minor 7. You could do this. It's just quite nice to do a run, or you can just go up the chord itself. So I'm simply going up the notes of the chord, or chromatically, or just play any old notes, just go up in some random way, doesn't matter. Either way, get from that E by doing either nothing or playing notes up to that, which is actually a D flat, not a C sharp, because of the chord of B flat 7, but the key is B flat here. So we're going up to B flat minor with the same 1 bar timing and the same left hand style. So I'll just play that from the A. And then down back into the F minor chord, but not the major 7. Don't do that. Don't play the minor major 7. Minor, major. Just play F minor. So. And then this is where it's kind of a transition chord, and it's E minor 9, which includes a dominant 7 because it's an extension. An extension is a note outside the octave, which means 9, 11 or 13. Chords are built in thirds, so 1, 3, which can be a minor, 5, which can be a flattened, 7, which can be a major 7 or a dominant 7, and then 9, 11, 13. 15 is the root again. If I demonstrate that in the key of C, because it's all the white notes, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in the knowledge that the third can be minor, the fifth can be flattened, and the major 7 can be a dominant 7. Then if you continue, you get 9, 11, and 13. These are the extensions, 9, 11, and 13. And if you look, the 9, 11, and 13 are also the second, fourth, and sixth. So that's D, F, and A in the key of C. And if I pick out D, F, and A here, these are the chords that I'm not currently playing in the major scale, you see? So when you make a major scale, you're actually playing all the degrees of the chord, and you can say that the other way. When you play some kind of an extension with a 9, 11 and 13, you're actually playing in some combination. You may play a dominant 7 with a I don't know, a 9 and a sharp 11 and a flat 13 as a kind of mysterious going somewhere chord. The point is that in principle we've basically done something with the 9, 11 and 13 which have just come from the major scale itself. It's quite interesting. So this, we're in the key of E here, but I'm playing E minor 7, dominant 7, D sharp is major 7, D is dominant 7, and the 9 is here, 8, 9, and I'm doing a kind of, I like that sound, and what I'm doing there is I'm playing, the left hand is playing E and G, I'm using my little finger and my middle finger, and I'm going, what am I doing? I'm playing the E at the same in the left hand at the same time as the B, the fifth, and the F sharp, the ninth, in the right hand, and then I'm playing, and then at the same time I'm I'm playing with the G, I'm playing the B again, but the D this time. So it's, if I can do it openly, yeah, so the E with the B and the F sharp, and then the G, which is the minor, with the B and the D. So the B appears in both. It's quite a nice sound, I like that sound. So that is going to be a transition chord before it continues in the key of E minor, and then a melody comes in with the 9, the minor and the root. So if I just go from I'll go from the beginning. Please stick around. Yes, yeah. So I do that twice, and then I come in with this thing. I do it 4 times, and I bring in the bass again, and that concludes that, let's say, first section of two parts, section 1A and 1B, and then it goes into it remains in that E minor, but the melody simply does this. So the right hand just simply played the E, that was off the screen, but all I did is play E minor, but up here. That's all I did. Just really flowing, that's all. And then again. And now it's going to go to the D sharp, to the F sharp, which are in the key of B, which is where it goes next, the 3rd and the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, you know your major scales. If not, the links are below for major scale things. So it's going to go there. So B, so the left hand is just going into the B in the bass. Sorry if the camera moves too much. B in the bass. And then come up to the B here again. Just play B7, D sharp, F sharp and A, dominant 7. Not major 7, it's too romantic. Dominant 7, bluesy. So. C, major 7 this time, and that sounds quite nice at the beginning of that, because what I'm doing, because it goes into the key of C, as I'm still playing the F sharp, that F sharp, just for a moment, has the note value of a sharpened 11, 8, because it's an extension, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, sharpened. With chords and extensions, you simply say what you're playing, or you play what you're saying. Say what you play what you say. It's completely based on numbers and the major scale. That's all you're doing. You're flattening or sharpening numbers from the major scale. That's all you're doing. All the way up to 13, because 15 is 1 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 15 is the C again, so it's 1. So that's why you only go to 13. You can't sharpen the 13 because it becomes a dominant 7. But you can flatten it. That's in another video. So, blah blah, E minor, da, da, into B7, and then it goes into C major 7, momentarily with a sharpened 11 to the E again, which is now the 3rd of C, and then it goes up to the G there, F sharp, G, A, E. And then you're going to finish it by simply going so you're just playing those chords again. C major 7, B7, E minor. Not E minor 7, just E minor. So I'll go into that part from the B flat. See how I always do something different in my right hand? And then it begins. major 7, to the E again, then to the B, to the C major 7, for 1 there, to the B7, to the E again. I'm trying not to hit the cable, apologies. So the second time I go around that, because I go around it twice, I make the right hand just be a bit more aggressive. So I'm going, it's a very good arpeggio practice for you with the pedal. So I'm going up 2 arpeggios and down again. I'll show you here what you should be doing from the middle C area up to the next octave, which is off the camera, and then back down again. Same thing, E minor, E G B E, E G B E, but quickly. And you'll just feel how it fits with the piece of music. So the second time round, I just remembered I actually put a fancy chord in the middle just to break it up with a jazz chord, because I like jazz chords. So as it comes to the end, so I go like this, I go, now what is that? It's a jazz chord, I don't want to confuse you, but I'm playing in the key of B, the dominant 7, the 9, because 8, 9, 3rd, and then this is the 6 or the 13. I won't go into the detail about that, but this is basically a 13/9 chord. Just play those notes and it sounds like that. I just like, you don't have to do that of course, but I like to do that. So this time it goes like that. If you can handle that, you just go up and then come down again. So don't play it too fast. See, on that part there, because it's only half the time, I only go up 2 octaves. C major 7, C major 7, B7 twice. Now this is where it changes into another part. So let's call that part C. So it's going to go, and then it's going to go down again. I'll play it in time, but you're going E minor, E minor, E minor, and then you're going to go in both hands to the C sharp, I think. Yeah, exactly. So you finish on, let me just go to that part and you'll see what I mean. So it's going to finish to the C sharp, and then the camera's in the way, down to the A flat. And the reason that's an A flat is because of something I talked about in the previous composition. And it's the same thing here. What I'm doing is playing A flat with the left hand. I'm going to go from down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm playing octave A flats from low down, 1, 2, 3, 4. But that is it's actually the sharpened 5th, which is an augmented of C. So what I'm doing is playing the arpeggio of C augmented 4 times without the pedal or with the pedal, but I'm putting the A flat in the middle of it, which is technically a G sharp. But the next part is going to go, first of all, an augmented chord goes up a 4th, so technically C should go to F, but augmented triads have 3 positions. If I put the C on top, so at the moment it's C augmented, if I put the C on top, that now becomes E augmented, because this is the 5th of E and that's sharpened now. If I put the E on top, that's now A flat augmented, because that was the 5th in A flat and now it's sharpened. So a triad of an augmented triad has 3 positions, and then you repeat them again. They sound the same. So what I've done in this piece, like I did in the other piece but in a different key, that was with E flat and G. E flat is the augmented, or D sharp is the augmented of G, but I did it as if it was E flat augmented, and it went up a 4th into A flat. This time it's in A flat augmented, which looks like C augmented, and it's going up from A flat to D flat for the next part. So that all sounds like a mouthful, but maybe watch it again, it does make sense. And an augmented triad has 3 positions, and each one is an augmented. It's just a kind of the magic of the piano layout. So without the piano key, without the camera in the way, I'd go A flat, C augmented, A flat, C augmented, A flat, C augmented, A flat, C augmented. But it's quite difficult with that camera in the way, but like that, which sounds, because the A flat is coming out so much, it sounds like the key is A flat. So it makes complete sense to go into D flat, which is a 4th up, and it does sound right, because if I put it together now and play the next part, which is D flat major 7, and the melody is going so it's going 3rd, 3rd in the key of D flat, it's going 3rd, 3rd, 2nd or 9th, root, root, and then it goes into another part which I'll show you after. So it's going like that. So there's just 3 chords in there. So because it's going into D flat, that A flat, the A flat going up a 4th, the augmented sound works perfectly. Even though the shape is C augmented, it's actually A flat augmented. Even if you play the A flat again at the bottom as you go into this melody here, and then you're going to go and then A flat, and then B flat, and that's the beginning of, well, it's a 2nd note, but the beginning of the melody line of G diminished. A diminished chord is a minor, and a whole diminished is a minor, and a 6th, and a flattened 5th. This is a group of minor thirds, and that's what I'm doing here, G diminished. So I'm going to go up the notes of that chord, like that, but from the B flat, after that D flat melody, which is with D flat major 7. But it's going like this. I'm building the chord like 1 note away, so I'm kind of going, I'm building up the left hand as the right hand has just played the note. Like that. Into A flat in the left hand. The melody note is the 5th of A flat, the E flat, and that's going to go to an augmented again to match what we did coming from the previous place with this. Oh, I played an E flat for some reason. I've still got the E flat in my mind. You both go to the melodies in E flat in octaves, and then it goes to a sharpened 5th along with the chord in the left hand, and then starts the melody again. And then it's going to go from the E, it's going to go F to the G flat, which becomes the minor of E flat minor. I'm playing a dominant 7 with this chord. So that's going to be the next chord, and it's going to go E flat minor to B flat minor twice, but the melody goes like this. So we've just done the A flat, diminished the A flat and the augmented, done the melody twice. Let me just play it from the beginning there. This is after the run up. G diminished, augmented on the A flat again. I like to play melodies in octaves. I'll do it here. From the F, B flat minor 7. And then again. And then it goes, well, here I hesitated before I landed on the G flat, but it goes back to the G flat. To to the B flat, and then the E flat, and then the D flat as it lands on B flat minor 7. So so try to get that into your bones from the beginning. A flat augmented, and again D flat major 7, G diminished, A flat augmented, continue the augmented to the F, into the E flat minor 7 for B flat minor 7, and again but go up. And then because we're on the D, we then go to the E flat, and the chord is C minor 7. C, E flat, G, B flat. Melody is quite high off the camera here, but I want to focus on the chords more. But the melody is just E flat, and it's going to go E flat, but an octave higher, to the B flat, and then it's going to go up to the C there. Oh, what am I doing? And then it goes back to the beginning. So I'll go from this. I'll just play that part there. So it's going to go because I haven't told you the chords yet. So E flat, C minor 7 for just one kind of run, to G minor 7, G, B flat, D, and F. In the right hand, I'm playing this. I'm playing the shape of E flat, which is exactly the same notes as C minor 7, but without the C. So I'm playing, and just keeping the G and B in the middle, B flat in the middle. And then when it goes to the G minor, I've already got the G and the B flat in the middle, which were the fifth of C and the dominant 7, and are now the root of G and the minor. So I don't need to change these notes. This is called note value awareness. It's very, very important, and only possible if you know your major scales. C minor 7, G minor 7, and then we're going to go into a C sus, as in the previous composition, Budapest theme 1. A sus chord is when you take the third, the E in this example, and you raise it to the fourth. Sus means suspended, not sustained. Suspended. Suspending the fourth as if it's going to fall down again to the third. And it does. So I go up, suspended fourth with a dominant 7 on top. Sus, you call that sus 7, C7 sus. So I'm playing the same thing twice. And then I'll do the same thing but with a C7 without the sus, with a normal E, with a pedal. Just try to make that as fluent as you can. So let me go from the C augmented shape with the A flat in the bass to D flat major 7, G diminished, A flat augmented, same thing again. Same thing on G diminished, A flat augmented, bring up the E to the G flat, which is the minor of E flat minor 7, B flat minor 7, E flat minor 7 again, B flat minor 7, and then C minor 7 as I've just done. C7 sus, C7. And the sus and the dominant 7th chords go up a fourth, which is F, and that's the key of the piece. So that's why I did that progression. I mean, do it again. So you would do the whole piece again until you get to that E minor part, and then you just end the piece. I'll play it all the way through in just a moment, but you end the piece on that which comes at exactly the same time as it did at the first time. I don't want to play it all again. And then when you get to when you've done that, when it kind of comes to a natural finish, you simply add the A on top, which is an 11th, 8, 9, 10, 11, which just kind of works. So I'll just play from the beginning and see what happens. And this is what I mean about the finishing. Here. E, F sharp, G. So that's the idea. A couple of silly mistakes in there, but hopefully you got the idea. So there you go. End. Nice. Another 30 minutes or so. Thanks very much for watching. Subscriptions, likes, comments, always all welcome. And I suppose see you in part 3, Budapest theme part 3. All the best. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.